Good morning and welcome back to When Pigs Fly. I am Patty. I am here with Renee and Tracy. Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
And a big welcome to all of our new subscribers and our OGs. We love all of you. Please keep the feedback coming in your comments because, again, you're motivating us to give you more of what we can share about our experiences. And please remember, don't compare yourself to anybody. Take what resonates with you and throw the rest out. It may be one sentence, and that's okay. You're going to receive what is perfect for you in the moment. And if you're here, you were drawn to this, you drew this to you. So we know there's going to be something in it for you. Okay. Now today, we are going to dig in on guidance and really how each of us recognizes guidance coming from spirit. This is a new conversation that we're all having, right? Talking to my guides, right? I tell people, don't interrupt me. I'm talking to myself. So we're getting guidance from, angels. We're getting guidance from your own spirit guides. And so it's a new conversation for some of you. And how do we recognize I mean, hindsight, we all recognize it, but how can we recognize it in the now moment? So that's our topic today. And we feel that it's very timely for what a lot of us are going through. So, Renee, would you like to kick this one off?
I really wanted you to kick it off
Oh,
because, yeah,
okay.
if that's okay. Yep.
Okay. We all listen to Renee's guides. You're speaking now. So for me, when when I feel guidance, it's more of a whisper, and I know that it's not something that I generated in my head. So it is something like if you're in the shower and a thought pops in. That's one area that I really feel a lot. Sometimes it will be many times in meditation now, but it took me developing that skill to then say, okay, where is my guidance coming in now? One of the coolest pieces for me is definitely get music. I get a lot of music, and it's funny. For years, I was like, "Why did I spend all those years in the music business?" Duh. So my guides know that that's something that I resonate with, and I can get a feeling. There's always a feeling and a message in the song that gets referenced, and it may have nothing to do with what the actual lyrics of the song are about, but I there's a knowing that that was the piece that I was meant to have. Sometimes I'll get a visual reference, or if I want confirmation. I was telling the girls I'm taking a business trip next week, and I was like, am I really supposed to go there? And when I looked at the travel schedule, it was like leaving at 10:10, arriving at 11:11. And for me, when I get those are, in my world anyway, angelic numbers. And I was like, you're going. You're going. And even the person that is picking me up at the train said, oh, wow. She said, divine, divine. And I'm like, it actually is. But the other thing is that there's no resistance. So if a thought comes in and it's something that you're trying to rationalize or have logic around, I know that that is not my guidance. I know that's not my guidance. I'm not supposed to work for it. And versus it comes in and it feels clean energetically to me. And it's like, oh, wow. The other piece to that is you don't know why you're being drawn to do that. And that's the uncomfortable part initially. And you might be guided to, like, we have the example, we had Kate Tennant on who spoke about how she was shopping for a freaking bra, organic bra though, because that's in alignment with who she is. And she met someone who she partnered with to create her own product for skincare. So learning to trust when you have that impulse. It's that impulse of, oh, why am I like being told to go to Starbucks right now? I just had a coffee. And it's knowing that by following those impulses or your desires, following your impulse and desire puts you in alignment with that soul connection, with that energy. It's the best way I can describe it. And then you bring components come to you. The components that help you move forward in what your desire is, and then get drawn to you, is the best way. And many times, like for me now, I'm recognizing that things came to me before I knew I needed it and before I knew the outcome. And I'll use the podcast as a perfect example. So prior to even being in the podcast, I had seen Renee on the John Burgos show and I had worked with her before. I was like, oh, I had such a great experience. And she was talking about this program that she was doing for 10 months. And I was like, didn't even care what it was. I just heard loud and clear, you're doing that. Well, fast forward to last December, she called me and Tracy like 3 days after Christmas, I think it was, and said, I was guided. We got to do a podcast and that we don't know how. And I'm like, well, I actually had done a summit that I had never done. I learned all the components, I learned all the tech. It was freaking a lot of work, but I went at it like a freaking Tasmanian devil. And then realized when that call came from Renee, they were like, I said, I got it. I've done this. I've got those pieces to the puzzle. Tracy had written these 4 books that has all this wisdom in it coming directly from infinite intelligence. There's your material. We do not plan at all in advance. There's no content creator here. Our content creator's up there dropping it in, and then we're expressing it through our own experiences. And so learning to trust that, we literally spoke about it on December 28th, January 15th. We went live today. We're in June. Wow. It feels like 5 minutes ago and we're in June. And our channel has grown organically thanks to all of you, without any outside marketing and promotion. Literally, it is 100% energy drawn. So if you can hold on to that nugget, that you were drawn to this message, you were drawn to this information, then you know that is your guidance. And so when you have that impulse to follow it. So that's what I got.
Trace, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, all of that. And I think Patty used the word whisper. I like, just little, I call them flickers of inspiration. And it's just the most subtle, basic things that make you think a thought that's a little outside of the realm of your normal thought, or suddenly you're just directed to look at something. Just kind of, I would encourage everyone to pay attention, to look further, to see beyond, because there's so much good availability. And I love the word inspiration because, passion. What did you say, Patty? I forgot, you said 2 words. Very similar, but
Desire.
Or
I know, yeah, it wasn't into
see how uncertain we are. We have no idea what we're saying.
Well, sometimes when it comes, it's gone right away.
Yep.
Which is super cool because it's so spontaneous, but there's so much there's just so much juicy, yummy goodness that is available right now. So don't discount anything, literally anything. And I think also, the podcast is a good example of feel and say yes and go, instead of analyzing and the yeah buts and the what ifs and the does it feel good? Okay, let's go. Because we are kind of a good testament of literally not much of a conversation. All right, let's give it a roll. And it just kind of went into place. And it was effortless. I mean, it really was. So, yeah, just an invitation and an encouragement to listen, feel, hear all the amazing little, I feel like there's just fairies and pixies and magic all around going, hey, look, listen. So yeah, open yourself up because it's super exciting times. I keep saying that, but I truly believe we are in such exciting times right now. Man, jump in. Why, just go for it. Have fun, follow your passion, listen to the little flickers of inspiration.
And you got to slow down. You cannot multitask and communicate with your guides because remember, every thought that you're having, they're like, oh, what do they want more of? Oh, what, like if you got your guide spinning, you need to slow down and ask for your guidance. Slow, but you get, and then it's a whisper, it's a hint, it's just that little, it's an impulse was the word I used. They just gave it to me. Thank you. It's an impulse. And and things that you're drawn to also will like especially in this journey I found that any subject that I was curious around this around particular guides and angels it's because I knew that it's because they've been around me and then now I know like if I'm going for a walk or riding the car I'm like come on Archangel Michael here we go before we come on here I'm like Archangel Gabriel he's communication and he's been hanging around a lot lately and but you literally can get to the point where you are calling them in because you've allowed it. You allow the amount of communication you have, but don't get frustrated with it either. Um, and Tracy made a really good point. When you are following things that give you joy, your channel's wide open because they're like, finally, we're in joy. And you are in that creative energy of your heart's desire. And she said it perfectly. Feel and go. If anybody asked me for my advice, that would be it. There's no third instruction. Feel and go. And then when you go, you'll get to a point where you go, okay, now it's time to feel and go again. And our new, that's our new operating system. Feel and frickin' go.
And stop waiting until you have it perfect.
Yeah.
People start doing things. They're like, oh, no, I don't have it perfect yet. You will be doing that for 10, 20, 30 years. You'll never get it out of the box. You have to just pay attention and listen. For me, I don't even think, I mean, I recognized when I channeled, when I was writing, okay, because it wasn't my words, but I love like when you're getting these very subtle things. And for a lot of people, not only me, but for a lot of people have said they get a ton of messages in the shower. So, all these things that come in the shower, pay attention and quite honestly, write them down. Do not think they're going to continue to give it to you because exactly what Patty just said, that stuff comes in and a lot of times it's gone. Like people, after sessions or whatever say, oh, remember when you said this? No, I have no clue. Not even a clue because it is all just organically comes through like whoever, is coming in for that person. And I love what Tracy does. And I've told a lot of people to do this and they said it really works beautifully because they're saying, I don't think I'm communicating. They're communicating with us all the time, believe it or not. Tracy says, bring it to me in words that I don't know or I don't understand, right? Something like that. Because she's always got a dictionary looking things up then. So do that, say that, because it's so easy to think that it's your thought. But if you really stop and you pay attention, it'll be like, well, wait a minute, why would I have thought that? I wasn't even, like that wouldn't even come into my, whole thought of trying to do this. Like, why would I do that? I'm petrified to do that. Well, no, they're giving you that guidance. They're giving you that direction. Like when I called those two and said, okay, we've got to do a podcast. I have no freaking clue. Honestly, I don't know anything about podcast. I know nothing like this is what we have to do. And then, Patty was like, I got it. Got it, cool. And we were coming up to New Year's. And I was like, okay, well, Christmas just was over, the holidays were there. Now we're coming to, I'll tell them after. And it was so clear, it just kept coming in. No, now you have to tell them now, you have to tell them now. So when you're getting something that continually is coming to you, that's them like knocking on your head, like, hello, come on, start to do this or get this message out. When you're thinking about somebody, give them a call, shoot them a text, whatever it is. You're getting the message to make contact. The more you pay attention and the more you follow that weird, crazy thought, the more connected you are. Exactly what Patty said, the more connected you are, the more keeps coming, the more keeps coming. And I wanted to, say something about meditation because you had mentioned that, Patty, when, a lot of people get messages in meditation. I really want to drive home the point of meditation is not what a lot of people think it is. and I know that, everybody, like, you got to sit a certain way, you got to do the stuff. And I remember, years ago when I was channeling, and I don't think I really realized I was channeling. There was a guy who was sitting across from me, and he was like, well, you can't channel. I was sitting with my legs up, and my body was sort of twisted. I was looking like this, and he was like, well, you can't channel like that. Because I said, oh, there's a message coming in. And he's like, you can't channel like that. You're all distorted. You're gonna, and I'm like, really? And then I don't even know what I said, but I was very aware of somebody coming in and giving this message. I don't know what I said to him, but I do remember looking at him, and he was like almost turning white. And then after it was all done, he's like, how'd you do that? And he goes, your face even changed. And I could feel my eyes change. That's what's so crazy. And he said, how did you do that? And I'm like, you have in your head, this is how it has to be.
Yeah.
Get out of your head on how channeling is. That's our biggest screw up. We're in June now. That whole aspect of the mind is really being pushed out. So it's a point of like, feel it, sit and feel. And if you don't think you're getting the message, say to them, okay, bring it to me clear. Exactly what the other two said. You will hear music. You will, somebody will say something, you'll hear names, you'll hear things over and over. You'll be drawn to a book will fall off a shelf, or somebody will keep telling you things. It's this energy that we're in now is all about us paying attention to all of the things from within. Everything's inside. When you're thinking of meditation, don't think you've got to sit in a particular thing. I would have the greatest meditations when I first started washing the dishes, because you know how you just sort of zone out. You're in meditation. Like, people never realize that. The things when you just sort of like zone out, you're in a meditative state, period. Like, it's so easy. And don't think if you're listening to a meditation, and I can say this for my meditations, and everybody up there is saying this is for everybody's meditations, you can listen to them while you're never driving. You can listen to them while you're doing other things. You're cleaning the house or whatever. Your system will get what it needs to be. Do not think you have to sit there and your mind has to, be quiet. Or a lot of people will say to me, oh, my mind, was going crazy. And that, yeah, a lot of times you're clearing. Here's what I say. Like, all of a sudden somebody be like, playing meditation or whatever, or I'll be listening to them. And I'll see that healers coming in and they start working like, oh, this is what she thinks about. And this is what distracts her from this, this, and this. And where's it tied into? They're going down and they're disengaging and disconnecting for you all of the distractions that your system is doing. So when you're there, don't get mad and think, oh, I'm not getting anything. Your healers are telling you, yes, you are. You're getting it. And they're also bringing in messages. They're saying they're always, during any meditation, whether you're just listening to, there's also a behind the scenes going on where they're reconnecting the energetic grids. They're saying that you're just doing a lot of work, and they're showing me like, you connected into a lot of different aspects in your body. There's a lot of things going on that are helping you to recognize that you are a beautiful spiritual being, and they've always been with you, and you're always having conversations. So allow yourself to get out of your head and just be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm clear. I'm ready to receive these messages. And I'm always receiving messages. I'm always getting them. Stop saying you're not getting them. When I couldn't see energy, I was like, how come I don't see energy? I hear you guys all the time. And they're like, you always say you don't see. And I was like, well, but I don't. And they're like, well, then what do you say? Right? Like,
when
and
you
I'm
stop
like, well, yeah, like help me do that, because years ago I was like, okay, well, help me. And I remember talking to a client and saying, well, this is what I see, and I was like, oh, I don't see it. And they're like, yeah, keep going. And I just kept telling them, because I bet a lot of you can, first of all, this energy, it's not about seeing anymore. Do not look to see, look to feel. You can describe that shit to a T. Because now, even though I say, well, this is what I'm seeing, I don't see the way I used to see. I feel it and I can describe it to a T. Same as you can. Everybody does that. Start to just practice. Well, who's with me? And say, oh, well, I can describe this angel, or I can describe, or I feel like this color is there, whatever. Start to do this, start to play with it, have fun with it, and you'll be amazed at what starts to come through. And again, they're sort of reiterating, like, go of meditation for what you think it is and start to play with that aspect. If your mind's going crazy, they're saying, that's us. We're playing with it. We're disconnecting, disengaging, and reconnecting all the aspects that need to be. And not that this is about meditation, but It's that there's so many people look to meditation and they're saying that's screwing them up because I got to sit quietly.
There-
I got to, no, you are not going to, it's what I should tell some of my clients because they'd be like, ask them something like, I don't know, I got to go into my meditation tonight and I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm like, what? That's not life.
You're not feeling it. And you're not
Yeah.
paying attention to what you're feeling. And and I'm glad you brought, we can go deeper with this too, because when I refer to meditation, I'm in meditation when I'm painting. All it
Yeah.
is, any internal calm focus, meaning you can be going about doing other things, that is putting you in there. And they decide when they're going to drop it in on you.
Yeah.
They decide. So don't get frustrated if you, like for me, sometimes it's okay, I just want to sit quietly because let's get rid of all of that, right? Let's let that go. So you can't have an expectation around it, and know that, yeah, information's coming, and now it is like it's so enhanced too. I'm finding like and we mentioned a little bit about telepathy. Man, I'm like thinking of someone and I get a communication from them, and not only that, but I know what the communication is about, and I understand that that is real, that it's real. And then first you're like, what the, this can't be, and we start saying the words coincidence, and then understand, no, what you're perceiving as coincidence is guidance. Coincidence is guidance. And play with it and go, oh, cool. Oh, cool. And that way you're not in resistance, and find whatever gets you into that comfort level. I never do the same type of meditation every time. I don't, it's whatever I feel like I need in the moment. And but again, it's the feeling. And if I'm not feeling anything, get my paintbrushes out and paint, or cooking, or I can go into that zone at the farmer's market. you know so it's, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Renee, because meditation, if you tie it to an expectation and what it's supposed to look like, throw that out. You find that the key is that how can you get that stillness? And which is what happens in the shower. What happens? We've got warm water, which is energy flowing over our body. And that's why you're in no resistance. And then, Tracy, I'm going to pass this to you because you talked about how many people get their upgrades while they're sleeping.
Mm. Yeah, I know for me that I've always kind of done a lot of work in my sleep. But I've become very aware, and I make a effort too when I lay down to I just do what I do. I actually used to be a huge meditator, and I don't meditate at all much anymore. Um, but I do before bed, I kind of check in. And here's another little thing. If you don't like the words guides or angels, pick the word. I love all of them. I know we had Michelle on, and I see fairies and pixies a lot. They all have very different energies. If you really start to tap in, expand whoever you want to connect with. And half the time I'm just talking to myself and all the versions of me, which is a ton of fun because I can have all kinds of crazy conversations with myself. Patty, did you say that on air? Don't interrupt me. I'm talking to myself. I forget what we say off
Yeah.
air and on air. But that is like, I have almost pushed myself to the point that I'm in constant communication, like all day. So meditation no longer needed because it is a constant that's just how I navigate through life now. It's a constant interaction and exchange of a huge variety of intelligence and information. And it's fun, man. It opens your world up. I mean, it is a little confusing sometimes, but kind of disconnect from that. Renee, you were saying, hey, they're doing that for you anyway, so embrace it. Also at night, for me, I get so much crazy cool intelligence in the middle of the night, some in dream state, some in not, some right when I'm going to bed, some right when I wake up. So I just get amazing scenarios, and that's how I ask for it. I think it's for everyone, ask for how you would like to see the information. I'm always saying, show me an example, give me an analogy. I want like real analogies, and then I'll get them and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it better now. Or, I see it clearer now. And for me, I mean, I can only speak for me. I know at night before I go to bed and when I wake up, there is just a stillness and a clarity that maybe I've set that system up for myself. But also in the middle of the night, and this was very unbeknownst to me for a while, the amount of stuff that was coming in that I would it would come into my brain later in the day, and I'd be like, oh yeah, like how do I know that? Where did that come from? Or the aches and pains, you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, why is my forearm so sore? Who knows what you were out in the astral doing and what you were learning and what you were giving, receiving. Really, I'm probably going to say it every episode, the amount of play and fascination. And that is, I mean, that's just the golden ticket to woo. So there's so many great ways. You can tell we're all saying something different. In the shower, I get a ton of stuff in the shower, but do what works for you. You do it your way, get the essence of what we're saying, and then you create, call on your people, talk to the dragons, talk to gosh, it's infinite. It's so infinite, which is what makes it so cool. And the way that you can receive it and the way that I've really custom fit it to how the analogies, and then they're hysterical. The analogies I get, I'm like, okay, that I get it now. And that was freaking funny. Thanks for making it funny. So
They
do
do.
it.
They get snarky, and
Yeah.
and Tracy, you touched on something, and like for me this was such a game changer because I was one of those frustrated, where are my guides, where, oh, I gotta meditate, da, 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 da. And then when I realized that was like completely not at all what I had to do, when you're beginning, the best thing is to say when you go to sleep, okay, bring me what I need to know, just bring it while I'm sleeping. And the reason your guides dump information while you're sleeping is you're absolutely not in any kind of resistance. Your head's not in there trying to analyze. But as a caveat to add to that, I do not, when I wake up, you're already in a theta state, right? There's different levels of, consciousness that you go through when you're sleeping. And for some, like Tracy said, you're doing a lot of work in your sleep, not necessarily work, but you're playing, you're out there gaining information and then coming back into your body. And those moments when you first wake up is when it's the easiest. And I tell my clients, own your morning. Don't wake up and roll over and freaking start scrolling or look at your text message and look at your email. Now you've gone out of this beautiful spiritual window that's open and wide open for you, and now you've gone right into your brain, and you can miss that window, for me anyway. And if something comes in that disturbs that time for me, I it's a game changer. I must go back if sometimes something comes up right in your morning, and this was supposed to be my quiet time where I'm drawing in, I'm journaling, and it's having that discipline to go, okay, wait, no, this thing kind of derailed me right now, and it really does drive my energy for the day when if I skip that opportunity and I do go back and bring myself down. And Renee makes these amazing meditations, and I'll be a bit like, Renee is going to get me back in alignment here. And so, but see, play with it, and it takes the pressure off of you if you first, starting to practice it at night. But the key is, what are your habits when you first wake up? It's the ideal window. You don't need to do it for a long time either. It doesn't have to be long, but just practice going, okay, wow, right now I'm open to receive. And like, put on some music you like. It can be, right? It can be painting or drawing or whatever, but just it's that, get into that, you're in that zone right when you wake up. And Tracy, to Tracy's point too, when you wake up in the middle of the night and stuff starts coming, freaking keep a notepad next to your bed and start writing, because one stop shopping with the guide sometimes. So, Renee, did you have something to throw in there?
I did. They wanted to, there's two things they wanted to say, but I also wanted to say, and don't get mad when you wake up in the morning because you think you wrote legible and you did not, and you have no clue what the hell it
Exactly.
says. Because that happens a lot. So the healers want to say, if you are worried that something's going to come in that's not in love and light, say, allow everything to come in that's in pure love and pure light. Because I know there's people out there like, oh my God, I'm going to open up my field. There's always going to be this dark. No, 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 it won't. We're love, we're light. Don't put that thought out there because you're just opening that. So it's always in love and light. If you want to, then when I first started, I always said that. Okay, I'm open and ready to, see, hear, and communicate with all of those of pure love and pure light. Like, because I was a freak at that stuff, because I had been energetically cleaning houses and I saw some dark shit. So I was like, okay, I wanted to be very sure. So you want to do that, do that. And they're saying for those of you that don't think that you have somebody with you, when you're going to sleep, or just when you just close your eyes and you're just, breathing. Yeah, and they're saying you can breathe normally, but just slow your breath a little. And they're saying when you see that lava lamp effect of all the different colors coming in, they're saying that's us, meaning
Love that.
whoever it is you're communicating with, whoever it is you want, all in pure love and pure light, they're coming in as all these beautiful different colors. And that's when they're saying you'll see the lava lamp effect, which is them all working with you and doing stuff. So they're saying they're with everybody. Don't think that, oh my God, that, I'm whatever, they won't come to. They're with everybody. They see everybody as wonderful, perfect, and beautiful beings of light.
Yeah.
That was my piece.
I love that. And go with the synchronicities, the deja vus. Go with it. It's real. It's real. And just, play with it. That's the thing. Don't like get out of judgment. Just play. Like Tracy said, it is fun when you start to create that and like Tracy trusts it 100% and she's rolling with it. And that is where we're heading to. So wow, 30 minutes flew by on that one. Thank you, ladies. And we thank you, everybody, again. Keep liking, subscribing, and sharing with those whom you deem appropriate, who's ready to hear it. And we'll see you guys next episode. Thank you.